Okay, so we are recording for English 115. We are on week November 16 and November 22, week 11. And for this week, there are really only two activities, which is you need to submit your final draft of the essay. Before you do your final draft, I want you to get a writing consultation on it. So I talked last week in class and showed how to schedule a writing consultation on Wired. So you definitely want to get that done. After you do your writing consultation, then what I want you to do is post to the forum. On this forum, you're going to give me one paragraph, and all you're going to do is share what your experience was with the writing consultant. That's all you got to do. There's really not a right or a wrong on what you're posting as long as you are sharing relevant items relating to the conference. And then after you share, you post, you're sharing your thoughts, feelings, those kinds of things. You need to go in and respond to two others that have posted. So you post yours and then go in and respond to two others that posted. All you have to do is compare or contrast their experience with your experience. So for example, if I'm talking, let's pretend I post, I go do a consultation. After my consultation, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna give me a paragraph on the forum, and basically you're telling everybody how it went, right? Sharing thoughts and feelings. So post is from Gail. I did my writing consultation with Alan. Alan was super nice. I was really uncomfortable, but he reassured me. I did not have my draft fully done, but he helped me with my thesis and also helped me with my conclusion. I felt it was well worth my time, and he was super nice. Okay, end of story. Now I got to go in and post against two others. I'm sorry, I got to reply to two others. So maybe I'm going to go in and reply to Jada's. And basically, I'm just going to do a compare contrast. Whatever she wrote, how did that compare, or how was that different from my experience? A lot of times it might be the same. If someone else had a positive experience and they had Alan, it might be something like, hey, Jada, I noticed you had Alan too. I'm glad you had a positive experience like I did. Did he help you with your thesis? He sure helped me with mine. Okay, end of story. That's all you got to do. So yeah, it does not need, your replies do not need to be a paragraph long. But the replies, remember, the criteria for forum is you are extending the conversation. So it's just like you were talking to someone in class. You say, oh, you had Alan too? Oh, me too. You know, you helped me with this. I really liked him, that kind of a thing. It does not need to be a paragraph on the reply. But I want it more than, oh yeah, me too. You know, I want it more than just a rote response. You know, you really want to engage the person. So these are due, oh, hello, I got to change the date. It says November 14th, my bad, my bad. Let me change that. I know we're recording, so you're probably going to see the secret voodoo that I have to do. Let me go in and edit this. Huh, why is it not letting me edit this? I don't know. Turn editing on, that would probably be helpful, right? You think? Okay, here we go. So I apologize. I have the wrong date on this, so let me adjust this really quickly. It is, I don't want the due date. I want the due date to be November 22 at, but I want it available right now. I just don't want the due date to be that. Huh. Well, let's see. The due date is November 22, so let's get in there. And then I'm going to have you check and make sure that you all can see it. So it's not due until midnight on Sunday, just like normal. Let me see. So it should allow you to go in and post your reflection. And then, yeah, it tells you the correct due date now on the assignment. So I apologize, I did not have that right. The other one is the research essay. You upload your final draft. I have provided a copy of the essay instructions for you, just as a reminder. We've already gone over them. And then the grading rubric, again, just as a reminder, we've already gone over them. You do want to make sure you use Microsoft Office Word in your upload. I do want to emphasize that, not Google Docs or any of that kind of stuff. So when you upload this one is also due by November 22nd, by midnight. I'm getting quite a few uploads where they've used Google Docs or they've used something else, and Moodle, it's unreadable on Moodle. At this point in the semester, we're week 11, folks, week 11. So I totally expect you to be able to upload on Moodle properly using the proper software. You know, I'm all grace and light, grace and mercy, whatever you want to call it, for most of the semester. But past the halfway mark, I really expect you to internalize that and fix it. You should have fixed it by now. So again, if you are having trouble, go to the help desk, have them help you with some technology issues. But for the most part, if you're using Microsoft Office Word, you shouldn't have an issue. If you use Google Doc, make sure you save it as a PDF, then upload it, okay? But at this point in the semester, I am not as nice about it. So what happens is if you upload it and it's in an unreadable format, I can't read it to grade it, I give you a 0. And I say you uploaded unreadable format. You are, of course, allowed to go back, fix, delete that draft, upload a new one, but you get late credit because it wasn't uploaded correctly on time. So just avoid that whole scenario. There's not, most of you are doing a great job. It's just one or two of you that you're just not internalizing or you're not paying attention when you upload. So that's it. You need to get a writing consultation and then post in the forum. The posting in the forum is super short. And then upload your draft. And again, don't upload your draft till you've done your consultation and you've had a chance to revise and make modifications and make it the best you can. That way you get the best grade that you possibly can on it. And I do use the grading rubric. So when you get the grade back on the draft, you'll see which boxes in the rubric that I placed for you. So hopefully they are all in the superior section. But you know, there might be different ones colored in different areas. Oh, I'm sorry. So there's a revision checklist here. So these are things you're looking for if you want to do a self-check on your essay. Make sure these things are included. Are you using transitions? Do you have your thesis? Is every paragraph addressing some element of the thesis? Those kinds of things. Couple of big things. Are you meeting the length criteria? And then, of course, are you using professional tone? You do want to be communicating to me in third person for the most part with this essay. You're allowed to use I in the introduction, but nowhere else. Like, for example, you might say why you chose this topic. I chose this topic because, okay, that's appropriate. But when you are communicating the information, remember you're communicating factual information. It's not opinion-based. So I don't want to say I think or I believe. No, 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 no. None of that in this essay. It's all third person. Editing checklist. Here's another one. Check for grammar, punctuation. Those are the #1 things. FYI, there are tools on Microsoft Office Word you can use for this. And then titles. A lot of people miss titles. Now, I don't know if I've directly addressed this with you or not, but when you have the title of your essay, #1, remember, it's not the assignment name. It is something to do with your topic. And every important word in the title should have a capital on it. For example, I was talking with someone just recently, and their essay is going to be on long-term memory. So long-term memory, each of those words start with a capital letter, LTM, okay? And then, of course, make sure you're following MLA document design, double spacing, 1-inch margins, Times New Roman style font, those kinds of things. So I put those in for you guys to look over just to remind yourself, hey, I got to have all these things, that type thing.
If we forget to change the date, did you mark it down?
Yeah, okay, so this is how I grade on the date. That's a really good question. You know, you have to have the date in MLA format. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, did you put the day, then the month, and then the year, space, oh, come on. If it's not the actual due date of November 22, I rarely catch it. Unless it is so far off, it gets my attention. And then it's a red flag that, oh, you didn't do this paper for my class, you did this for another class. A good example of that, someone submitted something that had a date of 6 February 2020. They weren't in my class at that time. That was a whole different semester. That's a red flag to me. Because you don't randomly pick dates. The dates have to be within the semester. So for example, if you had like, something like 7 November, 1 November, basically anything in November, I don't pay attention to that. The only time it gets my attention if it's a really outside or if you didn't do it in the right format. So don't worry about that. If you didn't use 22 November and you use 17 November or something like that, yeah, I don't care. I'm more concerned you're doing it the correct format than I am that you have the right date. Good question, by the way. Okay. I think that's pretty much what I have for lecture today. I do want to emphasize a measure of good writing is make sure you use transitions. Transitions help with flow. These are things like, however, or in spite of, or in addition to. Basically, they're connecting words. They're connecting each thing as you go along. I'm trying to think. Is there any questions or concerns that you want me to address or talk about, or at least, I don't know, give you enlightenment on? How can I help you? Not just you, but maybe for the virtual people out there, maybe watching the recording. What else can I provide? Just a reminder, this is our last face-to-face synchronous session. After this, you're welcome to meet with me, whatever, via Zoom, and I'll answer one-on-one questions. But we will no longer, so you won't have class lecture like this video or anything like that.
Scheduled time.
What's that?
We won't have no schedule.
Right, exactly. That's a great way. I should have used that phrasing. That's a great phrasing. We will have no scheduled time together. There will be options, like I said, the office hours, those are times I'm available to you, pop in. One reminder, particularly if you're watching the video, the week of Thanksgiving week, I will not be available that Wednesday or Thursday for office hours. So what do you have to do for what?
Thanksgiving week.
Oh, now you're looking at week 12. So just like normal, I will open each new week on Saturdays. So this Saturday, I will open up the week of Thanksgiving. But sure, I can run that on the video and I can show you a sneak peek. So the week of Thanksgiving, we totally shift gears. Well, not really totally, but we start focusing on main idea and writing patterns. So what I've done is I've given 3 PowerPoints, but I'll be honest with you, the crux of this is in the textbook. You want to read these pages in the textbook. And then there are activities in the textbook as well that go along with these items, with main ideas and with writing patterns. And then all you have to do when you are ready next week, after you've reviewed the information, PowerPoint and reading in the textbook, is to do the online quiz. So you get 1 attempt. I will open it. Obviously, it's not open to you yet, okay? But in this particular quiz, it's just like we've done before. There are 18 questions, all relating to information from the textbook and or the PowerPoints. And it's on main idea and writing patterns. So which of these is an example of a topic? So you're going to be reading about topic in your textbook. One of the PowerPoints covers it. And there are elements of a topic. What is a topic? It's who or what something is about. It's usually a word or a phrase, and it does not usually contain detail, okay? So based on what you learn, you would say, okay, which of those is the best example of a topic? Sorry, that's my phone, ignore it. My bad. I forgot to hit silent on it. Sorry. And so again, you go through the 18 questions. You know what? That's one of the things. So before then, I'll determine how much time you have, but I'll be honest with you, I lean toward an hour. You will not have unlimited time. So it'll be a 1 hour window. And just like all the other ones, don't start it until you're ready. Once you start it, the clock runs. Now, again, that's not this week, so I don't want to confuse people on the video. That'll be the week of Thanksgiving. It's a pretty light week, so you only have that little bit to do. Now, again, you'll have to read through things and familiarize yourself, but that will be next week. So it's hidden from you. I will open it on Saturday. I guess, totally, yeah, I'm worried if I open it early, it'll confuse people.
Yeah.
They won't know what week we're in and then they'll get lost. I don't want to do that. So I'll be honest with you, I probably won't open it before Saturday.
I was more just curious.
No, no,
if
it's a
there
good
was
question.
gonna be like a lot of work, or like
Yeah.
what days we had, like we're not.
No, I'm with you.
online, So I didn't know.
So here's how I decided that week. Normally, campus is closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that week. So that means I would only have a 2-day week. So therefore, I'm not gonna stack a bunch of stuff in that week for you to do. I tried to take it easy on you. So I'm hoping you will find it not burdensome.
And the final,
Yep,
you gonna discuss that a little bit?
sure. We don't have a final. We do not do a final exam in this class. What you're gonna have is a reflective essay you have to do. And I'll show it to you. I'll just give you a sneak peek. Again, I haven't opened any of this to you. But the reflective essay is, you'll also be required to do a consultation on that essay as well. But the reflective essay is basically, let me see if I can give you the instructions. Yeah, right here. The instructions, I try to be very, very concrete and tell you in that final essay, you're gonna have an introduction. This is what I want in the introduction. You're gonna have section 1. This is what I want you to talk about in section 1. This is what I want you to talk about in section 2, section 3, 4, I'm sorry, 3, and then of course a conclusion. And then of course the essay is going to have to demonstrate all the MLA document design elements you've worked on in your other essays. And quite honestly, in all your writing this semester. Double spacing, 1-inch margins, times your Roman style font, all that kind of stuff. So the good news for this class is we do not have a final exam. You're gonna have a reflective essay in which I give you 1 to 2 weeks and then you submit. Does that make sense?
So we have like the time of like the draft week and then the.
Correct. And you're gonna, for that essay as well, you're gonna be required to do a writing consultation. So like right here, you can see in week December 7th through the 13th, I tell you, you need, that week, the assignment is get a writing consultation on your reflective essay draft. Okay? So I'm telling you here, complete a writing consultation on your draft. You don't need to do anything here. You don't have to upload anything, nothing. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go in and look at the record and I'm gonna see that you did the consultation, who you did it with, a date, time. If you did it, you get full credit for that.
So that one's a full hour.
This one will be, and I do say here, you have to give a full hour on this one. And that's because it's your final one. It's a culmination. Your writing should be at the highest level it can be. This is what I base outcomes on. What this essay tells me is you're not only telling me things you learned, pre-reading process, et cetera, but you are demonstrating that you learned particular writing elements. Like you're gonna have a thesis. You are gonna have to use MLA. You're gonna have a conclusion. So you'll definitely be able to do an hour with a writing consultant, no problem. Now, if you want more than one consultation, you can. I just require one. So then you do your draft with a consultant, and then the next week, which is our final, this is our final week, you have to upload it. So you upload your reflective essay, and then you do your evaluation, and you're done. So in theory, if you want to get your draft and you want to upload your reflective essay early, you can and be done. But again, I probably won't open that until that Saturday, just to keep people from getting confused. So does that help a little bit answer questions of what's coming up? And we have a couple things before then. Obviously, there's a week where we're going to do a little bit thing, but this essay is just really, it's the warm up for the big one, in the fact of like the feedback you get on this, you go through a consultation, so that when you have that final one, it shouldn't be an issue with you. You should be good to go. Good question. Any other questions, concerns, or information you want me to share while we're recording? I mean, I can stop recording and then answer questions if you prefer, but if there's something you think would be beneficial on the video.
What is the difference between 103 and 103 workshop?
Okay, so English 103, the class is based on, you have 3 essays you're gonna have to write, a narrative, a rhetorical analysis, and a research, right? The workshop portion of that guarantees you one-on-one support with the instructor in relationship to those essays or that class. So workshop does not have any extra homework on its own, nothing associated outside of that class. So generally with workshop, what happens is you meet once a week. So for example, if you have a Tuesday, Thursday class, your workshop generally will be Thursday after that class is done. And then how I run my workshops are whoever's in there, maybe there's 5, maybe there's 10. And I'm like, okay, what do you need help with today? You know you've got this essay working on, or you have this assignment. How can I assist you? And if you don't need assistance, you can just do the assignment, use it as a work time. But if you're like, well, I know I have to have a thesis, but how do I make it, I want to get an A, how do I get this? And then literally we help you, the instructor helps you. What do you need to get it to that level? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Does that help answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, I am going to stop share and I'm going to stop record.